When's the last time you ever went to the line and shot 4 free throws?
Yeah.
Have you ever shot 4 free throws in a row?
I don't remember going to the free throw line in the past like 3 years, bro. I don't think I was until like maybe the first bubble I was on the free throw line. I think that was it though.
All the still wearing masks.
Bro, I just shoot threes and fadeaways at that point. So.
Face shield. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Let It Fly podcast powered by Smart Sports. My name is Tin Gamboa and joining me are...
JD, what's up, y'all?
Gabe.
Chris Newsome.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Mercado. Where is the Merc?
Man, F that dude. Man. When was the last time he was here?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
MIA.
Which one? Which one was he?
The new episode was the last time he was here.
So we add new to the group, and he's just like, oh,
that's how you guys feel about me?
That's
okay,
crazy.
yeah.
Got all defensive.
I felt like it was foreshadowed.
It's true.
We miss you, Saul.
Miss you,
we miss
dog.
you a lot. We'll see you very, very soon. So much has happened since the last time we taped an episode. A whole bunch of things. The PBA unrolled some interesting new concepts for fans to devour.
The celebration, you see that when they go?
Yeah, I saw that one.
That's some Larry Johnson stuff, bro.
Larry,
From Knicks fans.
LJ. So now, aside from, we do want to know how you guys feel about the changes, and I'm sure you will let us know in the comments, so please just type them out. Now, I think everyone would want to know how they feel about the rule changes as they are directly affected by them. How do you guys feel? Okay, let's start. Let's start with the 4-point line.
4 point.
Initial reaction. Initial reaction.
Yeah, initial reaction.
Initial reaction.
We're going to look like geniuses or we're going to look like idiots.
Yeah.
That was the initial reaction.
Yeah, that was.
Really?
I think Coach
You
Yang
felt
said that.
You felt like
I think it was going to be a banger or we're going to
Really?
look silly. No neutral.
There's going to be a chance that it was going to be a banger of a decision.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
I thought so because it'd be one of those, like, I was thinking way back when the NBA added the 3-point line, there was some resistance in the beginning, right? And I'm
Okay.
just kind of thinking, same situation. It's something different. No one has ever done it. There's going to be resistance. But who's to say something good might come out of it? And it just, you know how these things start, like word of mouth, catches some headwind. All of a sudden, it gets big really quick. Now everyone wants to do it all of a sudden. We just needed a couple catalysts to kind of push that into that type of direction, right?
All right.
So
That was your initial.
Initial.
Thought. Okay.
Yep.
Gabriel.
Yeah, I guess my initial thought was more along the lines of like, is it needed? Not to say like
What
either
for?
way, you know what I mean? Like we've talked so many times on the pod about, different ways to grow the league and what can be done. And shooting has always kind of been the downfall of Philippine basketball, right? I mean, internationally, like if we're going to shoot the three well enough and I think I went back, we looked at the stats as a team, and I think there was maybe 3 teams or 4 teams that shot over 30% from 3. So to add the 4, it was just like, what are the percentages going to be now? You know what I mean? And how you do that. So I think I was more thinking of it from a strategic standpoint, like, is it needed and like, how is that going to play out? But I mean, it's been interesting so far though. But what about you, Nick? What was your thought?
I would say I was 70% that it was going to do good for us.
Really?
And 30% that, it could falter out. But I was leaning more towards the good side. I was in the All-Star game where we had it at one time where and it was crazy. It definitely changed the game and how you kind of have to approach the game even, give more respect to those shooters that were out there. So having that initial feeling of what it was like just from that All-Star game kind of gave me a good idea. And I felt that it was something that the fans would eventually catch on to. And I had the benefit to play in that first game with the 4-point line. And sure enough, after the opening, the one thing that the fans screamed the most about was 4-point, not just the makes, but just the attempts alone.
Yeah,
so there was a little bit of excitement there. Is it going to stick? We don't know.
Still
but
early.
again, I definitely feel like it's something that has made the league a bit more interesting or talked about, whether it was good or bad. And in that case, at least we're still getting some type of attention, which means the league is relevant in some case. Now it's going to be on us on how we're going to adapt it or how we're going to push
100%.
it to benefit all of us. But initial reaction, I thought it was a great thing.
Okay.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
No one's asking me, but from a fan's perspective,
No one asked, just 10.
You should ask yourself.
just from a fan's point of view,
Yeah.
Right.
my thought was, okay, so all of the PBA fans, all of the Gilas fans, they've been clamoring for a little bit more of a more FIBA leaning league,
Right,
just
right,
so we
right.
do better, in FIBA tournaments, like 10-minute quarters. And here comes the PBA. Nope, we're gonna make it even further from FIBA.
I get it.
That was my
that's
initial
funny.
thought.
Oh, man.
So, okay, now that you guys are playing in it, now that you guys are doing it,
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
your initial thoughts change?
For sure. I mean, I think the fact after seeing the Converge game winner from Scotty Hodgson.
Hobson.
Hobson. Apologies. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see that. Just seeing a catalyst of the game winner shooting a 4-point play. It, like what Newsome was saying, like it caused attention, good and bad. And I think for the PBA's standpoint right now, we need attention, whether it's good or bad. We need engagement. We need people talking about the league and making up their own minds if it's good or bad. Is it going to last or not? Whatever it is, I think the initial shock and awe, I think that's good. Yeah. And how New was saying again, it's going to depend on the players to make it, interesting and continue to be fun to watch. It's cool to watch when you see these parking lot bombs going from far into the cup. Like it looks cool to watch. So, I mean, it's cool. I'm for it.
Yeah,
I'm for it.
I think it comes down to the numbers of it all too. Like, I think we've played 3 games so far. Our first 2 games, I don't think we gave up before, but there was maybe 15 taken. Like, I think the first game was like 0 for 8, 0 for 7 next. But then we played last night or the other night, and Lex hits 5.
That's crazy, bro.
They get 20 points off of 5 shots.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
I mean, we won by 19, but the fact that they that kept them.
Little flex in Lex.
I'm just saying that.
We got you.
But they had to shoot more of them. Like they were trying to get back in the game.
Could have been a 40-point win though, Gabe.
This is true. But it's interesting. I just look at the numbers of it. Like when you do the math, now you have to add the 4-point shot to what the 3-point shot is, right? So a team that we shot 8 of 25 from 3, but then we're 1 of 4 from 4. So
I mean,
the numbers aren't bad, but it's going to be interesting.
it's affected games already. For our game against you guys, the 4-point and 1 or the 4-point play, that changed the whole game.
The foul on the 4.
That changed the whole game.
That is true. When's the last time you ever went to the line and shot 4 free throws?
Yeah.
Have you ever shot 4 free throws in a row?
I don't remember going to the free throw line in the past 3 years, bro. I don't think I was until like maybe the first bubble I was on the free throw line.
Damn.
I think that was it though.
We're still wearing masks.
Bro, I just shoot threes and fadeaways at that
in
point.
a
So.
face shield.
How would that happen?
PPEs?
Actually? In the old way of basketball, how would that happen? You would need to get fouled on a 3-pointer and what, 2 technicals?
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only other way to get 4.
Yeah.
When you put it
That's
that
it,
way,
whatever. Yeah.
how have you had to adjust your game? No.
Yeah. No, I would definitely say it's from the perspective of a player. I don't think that it's necessarily going to affect you in any other way other than adding 1 more point. However, whenever it comes to playing the game, whenever the game's on the line, you have to know situations. You know, the one thing they always tell us players is what time score situation, right? And all that is another situation that you have to take into account.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know how to manage time scoring situation right now, then the 4-point line is not necessarily going to make that much of a difference for you. However, for the people that do, that's where the game starts to change a bit. You know that a 8-point game is just a 2-possession game now, and instead of saying 4 possessions, 3 possessions, however you want to math that, but I think it's going to benefit those who know how to take advantage of time scoring situation, and if you don't, it's definitely going to cost you.
Yeah,
you can have a 20-point lead, and like you're saying, a team just comes down and hits 2 of those, and now it's a ball game. So
for sure,
it's exciting, and just like anything else, it's going to take time. We were talking about percentages. Whenever the 3-point line first started, percentages weren't as good. Now you're seeing people hit 3-point shots at a better clip than 2-point shots.
Right.
And I definitely feel like eventually that 4-point shot's going to end up the same way, where you're going to see people start knocking it down at a higher clip than they are right now, being a new shot.
Yeah.
It's pretty refreshing to hear your takes because honestly, like for the fans, we were all just like, "What the f is going on?" But to hear that you guys are actually pretty supportive of it,
Yeah, well, I mean,
refreshing.
we're all on salary here.
That was honest.
There is certain things.
How many like DMs and texts did you guys get? Like, bro, is this for real? I honestly thought it was. To be honest, I thought it was a joke initially. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, it's not April.
Me too.
I thought it was like an all-star thing.
Yeah, and then I had people sending it to me like from the States
Yeah.
or from wherever. I was like, oh, I guess we're really doing this.
And it got implemented quick.
Yeah.
Real fast.
I thought we were gonna have maybe a year to kind of prepare for it.
No.
But it,
Throw it in there. Throw some
couple
tape
of
on
weeks.
there.
That's actually was my thought too. I was like, hold up. So is this gonna be like a taped line? Like every single game, they got to go out and like tape
Yeah,
the line.
like professional tape, not some Scotch tape.
So
Like
what
it
is
won't.
it?
Yeah.
Is it a taped line? Is it forever?
But it's like
Some places it was.
Yeah, some places
Like
it was.
we played out of town.
Yeah.
That was.
Because I was even thinking like a tactic, like late game. Like if I fall, and I'm just gonna roll the tape, like just fall on the line. Like you got to clean
How are
that
you
up.
gonna play that off, bro? There's no.
Some Jason
Right?
Kidd stuff.
You're sitting there like your feet just like rubbing on the floor. I'm tired.
Someone did say, was it Boss Al? He said that, malay nyo, the NBA might copy it someday. What are we feeling about that
The
statement?
NBA would have to shoot from like half court because the NBA line is where we're shooting from is essentially the NBA third.
At the
like,
top.
It's a little bit
At the top.
further,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
At the top,
Like,
it's a little bit further.
It's just a
A
little,
bit
Okay.
further.
But the wings is actually the tough ones because those are farther than NBA.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
That's why they can't go all the way down to the sideline.
which
What
throws
thing-
that actually throws a lot of people off too because
Yeah.
your normal vision, right? Whenever you see the line, you know that line curves into the corner,
baseline,
right?
yeah.
Whereas if you tend to go off that line, you could definitely step out of bounds. Which has
True.
happened
I
a
mean,
few
you
times.
think for the NBA it would be more logical just to make it as there is no line, but the 4-pointer will be like the logos or
That'd be
there's a logo on the half court. So as long as you're touching the logo,
That sounds too all-star.
is that too
game-ish.
weird?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
too
Like,
all-star.
But then again,
There has to be
4-point
a-
line also
of course there has
sounded
to be.
too
Yeah.
all-star game-ish.
But just like one spot on the
Just,
court.
just two logos and then maybe a step in from the half court. Like I don't know how they would ever implement it.
Anything beyond half court has to be 5 points.
Like half court
Damn.
shot, 5 points.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Down 5 for the win.
That would be fun. That would be fun to watch.
Get fouled.
Get fouled.
It would change.
5
The
free
sh-
throws.
get the-
You get like halfway through. It's like, oh man, I got 2 more left. Man, this is a long time.
It's a long game.
I know. I mean, it's,
Can you imagine Giannis in that situation? How long that would take?
Oh,
They
bro.
just foul.
5 free throws.
forever.
No.
Do we
Going through
think?
the
Okay.
situations.
Do we think it's gonna stay? Do you think it's gonna stay for forever, or would they change their mind down
we
the
have
line?
to say right now, it's a yes or no. I'd say yeah, it's gonna stay. I think it would look more silly upon us if we just take it
Okay.
out right away. I think
Gave
it would
up
just look
on
like,
it, yeah.
ugh, do you guys know what you're doing over there? Like I think we have.
No.
I think we have to stick with it for an extended period of time. I think so.
Okay.
So I think it's
Like as a statement.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think
you guys
get
feel
it.
the same way.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you can't just kind of
Pull it out after a conference. We'll look so silly, right?
Yeah.
Got to stick
little
with it
bit,
for
yeah.
I don't know how long what that means.
Maybe a couple of seasons at least. Yeah.
Some for sure.
Until maybe someone else follows suit, and all of the fans will be like, "We look dumb." Now let's talk about the new format. How do you guys feel about,
Yeah.
playing the teams in your group twice in the eliminations?
It's cool for me.
good with that?
Like we were talking off cam about it, just being able to play one less game to get into the playoffs. Also, now we're playing 10 rather than 11. I know we did this before, right? A similar format where you played your side twice and the
Yep.
other side once.
Correct.
I feel like it was all Filipino though.
Yeah, and we had it was like 20 games.
Yeah, it was something
elimination.
like that. Elimination.
20 games.
So-
It was more elimination games.
And naturally, that was also we were also saying that was when Gilas didn't have our FIBO didn't have windows, so we had extended like our
We only had
conferences
two
were longer.
conferences, right,
Yeah,
at
and
the
only
time.
2 conferences. But it's cool. It's cool for teams now. Like naturally you go through the first round of games, and depending on where you are in the standings, now you can maybe afford to get a rookie more minutes, or you
Right.
can rest a guy a little bit longer, or your import doesn't have to carry you as much as on the back end of the elimination. So it's cool with me, and yeah, we get right to it. So it's fun.
Yeah, I like
Gauge
it.
for it. You like it as
nice that you really get to focus in on a specific group first, right? And then that group has to be able to play or reach a certain level, and you're gonna see clearly the different sides come out whenever you do the crossplay. Like obviously this pool was playing a certain way, maybe a little faster, maybe more physical, and this pool was a little more patient, a little slow paced. But then whenever you're gonna do the crossplay, and these are two teams that haven't played or matched up yet, then that could be pretty exciting for the long term. So I don't mind it. I definitely like the change up. This is the first time in my career that I've had a change up in the format. So it's refreshing, and the objective is.
Well, what about this? What about injuries, you guys? Because you notice already, it's kind of hard to find those days off now since we're playing so much, so fast, so quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to play into it. We can't see it as much now, but maybe you guys think that's going to be something.
No, I was actually talking to my trainer about this.
Shout out Diego.
Shout out Diego. One injury that would normally take a week, right? That potentially before was like 1 to 2 games missed.
Sure. True. And you can kind of look at the schedule like, oh, we only have 1 game that week. Maybe that's when I can take my rest.
Now an injury that would normally take a week, you have the potential of missing 3 games.
That's a third of the season already.
Third of the season.
Conference.
Right.
So health is definitely a big thing.
Yeah, bro.
Having players available is a big thing. And a lot of times it comes down to peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so if you can make it through that elimination round, get beat up and whatnot, but be 100% there by the playoffs, then
you already know how
your
it is,
chances
bro.
are.
That's the key. You gotta be healthy coming into the playoffs, bro.
For sure.
It's going to be interesting moving forward too on how they select like next conference.
Yeah.
How do they they're going to have to mix up the groups, right? Like they're not going to let Rain or Shine go the whole year without having to play Meralco. You know what I mean? So how do they decide?
Oh, that's true.
who
That's a good
moves
question.
over and
Next
goes,
conference.
like,
Did anyone
gotta
ask?
switch it up.
No, I don't know if there's been anything
Is it like
published,
random?
If it's based off a placement.
right? And how that might affect draft order. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I was just thinking down the road, like I would love to be able to still play Converge or play, Talk and Text or something like that, which we aren't going to get to do this conference, unless it is in the playoffs. And,
So would you say that's a con, or it's just
maybe
it
not
happens
a con, but
kind
just
of
from a
thing?
player's perspective, like I'm sure, like young guys coming into the league, there's matchups they want to go up against, and if they might not ever get that opportunity until
Crazy.
further down the line. So just little stuff like that.
But overall,
Yeah, I'm
It's
all
cool.
for the
Yeah,
format. Yeah,
format's
I
cool.
like it.
I
Change
think
it
it's
up.
great.
okay, all right. So
Change it
far
up.
you guys are
We're
being
too
pretty
agreeable.
amenable.
We're getting to this next one, which
Okay.
is very
Let's
interesting.
talk about this next one. The 15-second count. How do we feel about that? It's so wrestling.
Can you give some context to the viewers? Like, what is this 15-second rule we talking
Okay,
about?
so if you get fouled, if you don't get up in 15 seconds, what is it?
you get in trouble, right? You get
Second time.
no.
You get up. Spanked.
You
Get up right
right
now.
now.
You get a technical, right? Or a warning at first. Or,
I think
No,
you can't
it's
check back.
just a
No,
sub.
I think it's not so much a
just a
foul,
sub?
but like an injury. Like if you get, if you go down with an injury,
yeah.
if you're not up in 15 seconds, like you have to be checked out of the game and you can't go back in.
I
Like
got
one of
you.
those situations.
We got some. Not to name any names, but we got some
names, JD.
guys that like to stay on the ground for a while.
I would like for you to name names.
They milk it.
They milk it. You guys know who you are. Hey, in the chat, you guys let us know who
Yeah,
you
can
think
you-
are the milkers.
I would like to know who these milkers are.
man.
Alaska's not in the league anymore.
Or they
They're
just
still
love their
milkers.
camera time.
It could be, whatever.
They
To
like
each
the
their own.
camera
I get it.
Give
Let
me,
us know.
drop the initials.
Huh?
Let's let it fly.
I like
Soul would
California
be
a lot.
proud.
What's the initials for California?
California.
California.
Okay.
CA. I love California, man. Yeah.
Nice.
I just think
I've never
Sorry,
been,
man. I
but
love you,
I've
bro.
heard great
If
things.
you figured it out, I love you, man. I love you.
well, I just don't think like do we need a rule for
You
it?
need to be babysit for that?
If that's the case, just like call the tech
Yeah.
or call like
Delay of game.
a delay of game and then go from there. Because the worst is gonna happen is like what if somebody's legit down,
That's the gray area now.
right? Or like you
Yeah.
you stand over there for 15 seconds and all of a sudden you have like a bloody nose and there's blood everywhere.
And then it's like, do we
because if
still
I'm on the
count?
other team, I'm for sure either the coach or somebody, he can't come back in 15 seconds. Like, you're going to be that guy? That's you? Maybe. I'll be on the side.
Snitch, man. Damn.
Right?
Gabe would be like holding up the arm.
Yeah. Mr. Perfect. You got to follow the rules by Mr. Perfect.
No, I like Ted's comparison. It's like wrestling. Like I'm checking the arm.
Hulkamania. Damn, I'm old.
Damn, you just aged yourself. Hey, I'm with you though. Hey, right here.
Right
Yeah.
I'd be bad.
But the crazy part is, if it's not a foul, then you can't even challenge it, right? So normally that's where people would stay on the ground, right?
True.
Say there's like a hit below the belt,
Yeah.
and the refs didn't see it,
And he's
then
down.
you're on the ground because now you're trying to bring attention to what happened, right?
Yeah.
So there's instances in the game where that does happen, and you kind of have to
Let them know, like, hey,
let them know this is what happened. So now I guess that makes you think twice: is it worth it?
Yeah.
Right? Is it worth me trying to bring attention to this certain play or call that happen, and the potential of me getting subbed out? Right?
True.
So that's where it's tough. If it's a foul call, then yeah, you can challenge it. You know, there's some other things that can happen, but
yeah.
Is that something that you decide like on the second, or is it something that you think like, okay, when this happens to me, I will definitely do A, B, or C?
it depends on how severe it is. Because I've had some pretty good hits.
Okay.
You know, that people have done some
Does not
pretty
look like a fun smile.
Yeah.
pretty fun stuff that happens in the PBA.
went back to those hits.
occasionally. So, you know, and it's those moments where you're like, okay, how else do I protect myself? Do I get up and fight back? Do I get up and do something back?
Yeah.
Or do I, stay down and let the cameras, show
Kinda
what
do their job,
happened,
yeah.
and then you just kind of save yourself from a little bit of trouble just from a little acting job, right? So those are kind of things you have to consider as well.
Very tactical.
Very
Yeah,
tactical.
very
that.
tactical indeed.
But you guys had an experience in one of your games, right?
We did.
Because I know, like, and I don't know about you guys, but we haven't had,
one yet.
any warnings or anything like that.
we haven't
with
had anything.
Yeah, it's tough because one of your guys goes down. Of course, he's especially in a crucial part of the game,
Right.
So that person has to stay in the game. But the floor was a little slippery. He goes down, and then he's just trying to like tie his shoe,
Right,
make
right,
sure,
right.
He's okay. And they're over there like 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Oh, he needs a sub. So he has to get subbed out.
You guys try to run over and help him up. Just get up. Get up.
I think if one of the coaches come on, then it's automatically a sub out, correct?
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's why they usually
If
hold
certain
back the
personnel
PTs
comes
or
on the
the.
court, then they already have to. So
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, that's kind of how that's
Keep the
solved
game
out,
moving,
but
I guess.
yeah, if it does happen at a crucial part in the game, it could really cost.
Yeah.
Can cost the team.
You know how when some rules are made, they're made because of certain people. Can we call this the California rule?
It might be. Nice one. Nice. I mean, he's
He got nervous.
Any usher?
got to be up there. I mean, it had to be considered by the higher ups because they're thinking about this, and there are main conspirators who do this on a
Do we have a
on a
second?
consistent
Do we
basis.
have a second or a third?
Are there are others, right?
Are there?
Are there? What other states are
Other
there? out there?
states?
Go ahead and save JD over here and move on to our next topic. So we're done with the new rules.
Yeah,
and you
so
guys are pretty okay with it?
More or less.
Okay,
Yeah.
more or
It's
less.
been 2 out of 3
cool.
that we.
They're good with it. Let's talk about the Dave Ildefonso situation. And his dad, the legendary Lakay, Danny Ildefonso, is sort of getting involved in the situation as well.
Crazy.
So Dave was drafted by Northport, and he is refusing to play for Northport. And his dad was seen making comments on Facebook
Keyboard
about
warrior.
farm teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Can't
First
do
of
that.
all,
do that.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Can't do that. Sorry. You work for an organization. There are rules and walls that you must abide to, and you can't climb over. And he knows that. We all know that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Or don't be in this organization. Don't be sorry. It's
You
very
shouldn't
black
have-
and white.
I super agree with you. You knew from the start that there was a big chance that you would go to these teams that are not quote unquote as competitive as the others. You knew that from the start.
Yep.
Di sana hindi ka na nagpa-draft.
I mean, I can't speak on who was gonna where things were gonna play out and everything like that, but back to Danny I think, dad just tapped in. Like he went into dad mode and tried to defend, his son's situation. So I completely understand that.
Facts,
but
for sure.
At the same time, like you said, it's kind of like in the bylaws of our contract, right? It's in the fine print, detrimental to the league and things that we can't kind of do and operate in. But from a player's perspective, it's not the first time that a guy hasn't signed. You know what I mean? I think
for sure,
given Dave's resume and the things that he possibly gave up overseas and to come in, I think fans are excited to see him out there.
For sure.
Sure, bro.
Naturally things like that. But to my understanding, it's still negotiations. You know what I mean? So hopefully, something can get figured out here in the next couple of days and he can get on the court. But
business, man.
It's a risk that you run. Like it happens in every league. Like you look at the NFL draft, there's guys who have basically went out and said, "Don't pick me." He didn't go that far to say like, "Just don't pick me," or "I'm not going to sign."
That
to my
happens all the
understanding,
time,
but
though.
it happens
Behind the scenes, right?
Behind the scenes,
agents will
these
tell
things
the
happen.
team.
So
Yeah, facts.
it's unfortunate that it's so public, and he's the only one, right? He's the only rookie that hasn't signed or has.
Usually that happens though, right? Like if a rookie refuses to sign, it gets put out in the public pretty quick.
Yeah.
Out here. I can't say for other places, but that's kind of the template. And I'm sure they knew that. The Dave's camp, and whatnot. Like I think it's a business move that they knew that what they were getting into.
Right.
I don't think he's doing anything necessarily wrong other than just playing his cards that he's given. Right. Because if he's allowed to do that, which no one's.
And it comes down.
Anything
comes down from my bad. I know New hasn't spoke on it, but it also comes down to kind of from a team perspective when you go out and put your draft board together. Those are conversations that you can have, right? Like you can reach out and be like, all right, if you take, I don't know. I'm just thinking as a manager or as a coach, a head coach, like we have to put guys on our board who we think we can sign. Because even with us, with Kalen, they thought there was like this big deal, like, oh, can we sign Kalen? We didn't, to my understanding, talking to Kalen, there wasn't even enough conversation. He was he was at the Jones Cup during the draft with Dave, with RJ.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So he'd never really met Rain or Shine's management. Like those relationships weren't built. So, I think from a team's perspective, you have to understand the guys, the prospects, and what comes after that. You know what I mean?
Do you think that it would be wise for teams, like you said, reach out to Dave before drafting him and asking him, hey, if we get you, you with us? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
water under the bridge, though.
But every other league that I know that has drafts, they don't just have the combine, right? They conduct interviews.
Yeah.
You look at
full on, pick their brain. What's your backstory? How'd you get here?
And especially like maybe that's just the advancement. Maybe from here, that's going to be something
that's
that
the next
teams
step.
is going to
After
be
this,
kind of protocol on how you handle the draft.
It should, bro.
And that's everything from injury history to any type of background stuff. Like we don't
do that here, bro.
Yeah,
we don't do that here.
But even it needs to start. I think.
Yeah,
teams are
maybe after
investing a lot
this,
in players.
teams will learn.
Still, I think that's what makes this situation a little bit more interesting because we kind of do know the background.
Right.
Of Dave and his family.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it
That
makes
is
it a
true.
little
That's
more
true, bro.
interesting because now it's like,
Let's talk about the background.
you want to talk about the background?
Yeah.
Shawnee. What's up, Sean?
What up, Sean?
What do you have in the background for us?
Okay, so I read that Danny I doesn't exactly have the best relationship with SMC, and people are kind of connecting that. Is that what you were getting at?
More so just not from that deep
Okay,
of a standpoint,
okay, okay.
but
Be
I'm
something
saying
there.
like we know
Might be
that
something.
the dad
I didn't
is a
know.
PBA player.
Yes.
He's played for how many different franchises, well established. He's had the kids. We've seen the kids grow up.
Yes.
From
We're fans of the kids, yes.
since they were little kids, and then now they are who they are. So it's not like this is just some random Phil-Am that came over from the States or
Yes.
somebody that we don't know anything about. So there is a little bit of back history to this family that we know. So knowing that, is it still surprising that they tried to pull off a move such as this? Or is it just a simple matter of knowing and understanding your value as a player?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
for him, I'm sure he does know his value, and that's why he can stand on what he's doing. But I also agree with you in seeing that organizations should do background checks and character checks on players that they are trying to invest in, because players are an investment, right? And so it never feels good whenever you're getting this type of result from someone that you felt was going to be so promising for your franchise. However, it's not the end of the chapter. You know, they're still working on things, and from what I understand, they're still going to have his rights anyways. So if they do decide to make a move, that value is still going to stick with Dave, hopefully.
Right.
And, you know, he can still make his next move from there. But I definitely feel like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're, like JD said, they're just playing the cards that they know that they have and how to use it in this specific situation. So.
Again, from a fan's point of view, I was also like, you know what? Good on you for standing your ground and knowing your worth. But also, again, from a fan's point of view, we all know about the farm teams. We all know about their existence, right? And I think the words, if he would play for Ross or Converge, then he could play right now. Those were uttered. So, any thoughts on those words?
I mean, those are also, you could look at it from a family ties position too. If he comes to us, he's with his brother. If he goes to Converge, he's with his dad. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think he wants to play. There's a reason why he didn't sign deals, in Korea or Japan, where his minutes were limited. Right. He has the urge. He wants to play basketball. That's why he wanted to come back and be in the PBA.
They're loaded at his position too. At
Northport. Yeah,
his position.
True.
They are
true,
right? So maybe there's a little something.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about it from that standpoint either.
I didn't either till just now.
Wow, enlightenment.
Light bulb. What's the best case scenario for all of this?
Man, that he just gets on the court.
Yeah,
we need to see him.
Like,
he got to ball out too.
He ends up signing, but then whenever you do cause this type of attention and then you do finally sign, you definitely got to show out.
You better show out.
Right? You got to really go out there and prove it. So I'm actually excited for that moment of seeing him actually prove it, get out on the court and dominate, and regardless of what team he ends up on, I would like to see him actually be able to pull through and really come out and just be an animal or somebody that can be potentially mythical team worthy. To see him,
I think he has that in him.
Yeah, he does for sure.
It's just I can't help but think about how Balti just didn't get himself drafted because he wanted to go to a certain team because he knew how the draft works. I guess that's my only issue.
It's situational too, because if you find ways to earn a living to kind of buy you time, then
true.
And if that works for you, that works for you. But there's some people that window is so limited, and they're already entering the PBA at like 26, 27 years old. So that window is a lot smaller than for some of these young guys that can afford to take longer steps to get to the PBA. But there are some guys that need to get into the PBA now. They need to have a good contract now, and going to the NPBL is not really an option for them, or else that automatically cuts your chances of making it to the PBA in half.
Right.
Or actually maybe less.
Yeah.
Less,
Situational indeed. Okay, you know what? We love giving flowers on this show.
Oh,
hey.
And we have not congratulated our brother on his first PBA championship.
There you go.
Leading his team to the first franchise championship. That's crazy, New.
Finally.
We need to talk about it.
Finally,
It's been amazing. It's actually the last time we were on the podcast, I was still ringless.
Yes, we were at that event, right?
Sigma.
Yeah.
Right? Sigma.
Still ringless, and we were talking about it. That was still my goal. That was my priority, and we got it. We got one for Meralco, and it was
crazy,
nice to be able to see that happen. For all of that to transpire the way it did, it was honestly like a movie.
Yes.
Like
From the beginning. You were there from the beginning.
From the beginning, and we kind of didn't even have a chance going through the end of that, where we had to win our last 3 games of elimination round just to get to the playoffs. And then,
that's so crazy.
Like we mentioned earlier, peaking at the right time. We definitely peaked at the right time.
Yeah.
Met up with NLEX in the quarterfinals. Was able to get 2 games on them. Had you guys in the semifinals, best of 7.
Yeah, bro.
That's a grind
crazy.
out. But Meralco finally overcame that. We got a first 7-game series win over Ginebra. And
Ever,
I think,
right?
Ever.
And I think it was
crazy.
that gave us our confidence that, okay, we finally overcame something that has been holding us back for so long. And now we get to go into the finals against, arguably one of the best all-Filipino
Team
franchises.
Yeah.
bro.
And,
That was
and
crazy,
so
man.
we just wanted to give it a good run and take all those experiences. And the team really bonded together. We kept it together despite our highs and lows. And it was just a really beautiful thing to be a part of. And, the phrase that we coined during that run was believe.
Okay.
And so you would see the signs that said believe all around because, we really felt like that was the word that was right for us to be able to have the right mind frame to go out and accomplish something special. Sometimes to do something special, you got to believe it. And
I love
everybody
that.
there
I
really
felt like the
Yeah,
league
Ted
was
Lasso.
happy, bro, when you guys won.
Ted Lasso. Yeah.
I really did like the league outside the fans. Like everyone was happy that you guys won because everyone knew the story of grind, especially if it was all Filipino. Because, like for context, and you know this, when I was there, when we had all Filipino, we're like 1-9, 1-10. And then we get Durham. Oh, now we're in first place.
Yeah, we used to love playing Meralco.
And it was black and white.
Yeah.
It was so bad every time. Like we would be so garbage with all of right.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you won all Filipino that way,
Yeah.
like bro,
Crazy.
And
that was dope.
full circle because when I first got drafted, all Filipino, right? You were on the team. You were actually on the stage when I got drafted.
Yep.
And then not too long after, we're going to Vegas, right?
Yep.
Go to Vegas. We have training at Impact, and we're like, okay, we're gonna be great.
nice.
We're gonna be nice.
We are
man.
nice, bro. Well, Jimmy was there too, right?
Jimmy was
Yeah,
there too.
Jimmy, Sean was there?
Sean Anthony was there.
Cliff, me,
Cliff,
you. We had some.
We had like
Ooh.
Gary David at the time.
That's right. We had Gary.
And we were just like, okay, we got.
We're not bad, bro.
Yeah, let's go. We come back, win one game.
It was
Trash, man. But
You couldn't figure it out, bro.
couldn't
You
figure
thought
it
we were
out.
nice too.
we thought
had a
so,
squad.
but just for context, that was all Filipino,
Yeah.
2015.
Wow.
That's
And
great.
so for us to get a championship, it really shows how far the franchise has come.
Yeah, bro.
And just a beautiful thing to be a part of. And, everybody, all the employees at Meralco, they're so
I bet
happy.
you're a god over there, bro.
Even it was nice to see a lot of PBA fans that reached out to us, Ginebra fans and San Miguel fans. They definitely reached out to us too. And
Hell
we're like,
yeah.
congratulations. You guys deserve it. And it's good for the PBA.
Really.
Hell yeah, it was
refreshing.
good for
Yeah.
you.
It showed that you can really get rewarded for your hard work as a team that's not expected to win. So you never know how things line up, but
Shit, man, y'all a powerhouse
definitely
now,
did for
man.
us,
You
That
ain't
was
no
dope.
underdog now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it was amazing. But
That win for you was also a win for the league.
yeah,
it was.
For sure.
It was a much needed win for the league.
was.
That whole series,
Yeah.
it happened at the same time as the NBA finals, which
Right,
were
right.
like I remember everyone just comparing about
Yeah.
how it was all blowout games.
Yeah.
For the Mavs, they were losing by 30, 20.
Yeah.
And then all of your games were like super tight.
They were saying it was a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
A lot more fun.
crazy,
so
dude.
that's good to hear. And that was without the 4-point line too. So where Meralco is going.
Gabriel.
Kamish.
Zoom in to Gabriel's face.
Like you said, now everyone knows we're here.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows
Yeah, bro.
Meralco's
Yeah.
here to play.
sure, man.
And they know it's going to be a battle anytime they come
Yeah.
across us. So
Dude, I was so hyped. Like we were talking off camera, like how all my streaming content for like 2 weeks straight, I was wearing a Morocco Bolt shirt. Just because like
yeah.
I was like, yo, that's dope. Good stuff.
Right.
I'm with you guys. I'm a team Ginebra. Relax, you guys. I don't want them to
happy for
win all the
them, you
time.
know?
I just
Makeup is
I got
fine.
I got
Keeps
homies
going.
over there. I saw the pain that they went through over and over again. So just to see them get over the hump, like it was
And that's actually for a lot of players that have worn the Meralco uniform. You know, they've actually reached out to us and said they were like really, really happy, and they felt like that championship was their championship because
felt it a little bit.
You know, it was the same mission that we've been on for so long, and to finally get that, it meant a lot for a lot of people.
So the Let It Fly family, you know, all of our viewers, if they watched your episode, and I'm sure they did, if you haven't yet, look back a couple of episodes when we welcomed New to the fold. So everyone knows your beginnings. You know, everyone who watched that, they know that you know, all the things that you had to go through to get to this point. Can you just verbalize how it feels to finally say, after everything you went through, how does it feel to be a PBA champion?
It's amazing. Like I've been waiting to join the club for a while.
How many years now, bro? How many years you been in the league?
I've been in the league 9 years.
Almost.
Yeah, 9 years.
Made it before the decade, dog. Yep. There you go.
And to finally get that breakthrough, I'm like, this is what you guys feel. Right? Like,
such a quick turnaround, though, right?
It is, man. Like, to be honest, I didn't really get to enjoy it like I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other things that was lined up for me as well. But I did get the time to celebrate with my teammates for a few days. You know, we had our nights out and just really got to.
What did you do?
Nights were had.
You know, I can't tell you what happened because I can barely remember, but they were good nights.
Nice.
You know, just to go from that and to see how everyone really like enjoyed the championship. That was the most fulfilling part of it for me, is what it brought to my teammates. Yeah. You know, to see them be able to take care of their families, and the reason why they're playing is for their families and their loved ones, and to see them actually take care of their families, you know, that meant everything to me. So that's the best part of the championship.
The original crew was you, Cliff, Anjo, and Raynell. I know he's the coach, but that was it, right? From the beginning? It was just y'all four?
From the beginning.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was an amazing time for us, but you know, it moves fast, like you said. Now we're on to a new conference, so you really got to have that short-term memory, or you got to know how to manage your storage. So it's like, okay,
manage your storage.
This happened.
You're talking like you over 30 already. You talking like you're in mid-30s, lower 30s?
I am.
Where have you been? He is.
You're talking like storage. You got to save the storage a little bit.
Nephew. Take a seat.
I like it. I like it.
You did mention the fast turnaround. So what did you have to do right after you won the championship?
Right after, I had maybe 5 days, and then Olympic qualifiers started for Gila. So. Right after, reported to Inspire, and we had training camp.
Right back at it, bro.
Qualifiers right there, so
it's crazy.
I couldn't really.
That was a crazy time.
It was. Yeah. Couldn't hold on to the championship that long.
Right.
Flew out to Turkey and Poland. Had some tune-ups. I got to see Jeremy Sochan in Poland.
Oh, nice.
So got to go up against him, and he is an athlete.
Really?
That guy is an athlete for sure. But had the tune-ups there, went to Latvia, then straight into the games.
Latvia game was.
Let's talk about those games.
Yeah, what was the vibe
Latvia one?
in Latvia?
Latvia was wild. They're definitely
fan base was crazy.
They're definitely a basketball crazy country.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see the turnout that they had, and
how big was the arena, bro? Like, how many people were there?
I think there was like roughly 5,000 to 6,000.
Okay,
that's it. We just do 55 here. No big deal. Latvia, you guys are in a basketball country. You guys are in a basketball country. 5K?
Wow,
that's fun. That's cute.
It was wild.
That's cute.
That's cute. That's cute.
They did have the drums and everything, so it was nice to see.
Rocking.
But also, you can't fit as many during FIBA events because they take up like a quarter.
With the media, all the media rows and all that.
How the rows are and stuff. So, but it was still, you know, packed in there for the Latvia game, and they were definitely shocked with how we came out, and
for sure
was able to handle it.
Everyone was shocked.
They were. That was fun though. But we had our eyes, you know, set on them since the beginning. Coach Tim was conditioning us for those matchups, even in the tune-up game. So that was the one that we were really prepared for, and we definitely caught them off guard.
Yeah.
And we just were able to keep that distance, hold on to it, and got that win. And that was just a big moment for us.
New, was that the game? Because, you know, we both played for Coach Tim, and they caught some footage of him talking to you guys. Maybe it was the Latvia game. Maybe it was a different one where there was a moment when you guys were trying to tell each other like, it's all right, guys. It's okay. Let's get the next one. And he's like, it's not okay. Don't say that shit. It's not okay. Don't. Was that the game? Was that something else? Did I mess it up?
I think that was actually our game against Georgia.
Way off.
Okay.
Because we actually had the 20-point cushion. That
It lost it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, my fault.
We had the 20 points, and we weren't
love
really
when he does that,
performing
bro.
well. And that's where he was like, you guys just can't come out here and do what you want to do.
Yeah, you can't just say we're good. It's not okay.
You guys are playing like an Asian country right now. Yeah.
Like we're trying to be positive, and he'll sometimes throw it like he'll throw it right back at you. Like, guys, let's get the next one. It's all good. It's not all good.
What works better? I'm just curious. Like for you, what works better? Like a positive reinforcement, or like what
You can
Coach
tell.
Tim did?
You can tell in the tone from the guys, the seriousness or the conviction. If we're saying like, let's get the next one, it depends. You know, if
Situational.
you're kind of throwing it a little bit, like, guys, come on, let's go. We got this.
Okay.
You could feel like,
Okay.
Okay, come on, man.
Kind of half-hearted.
Slipping away.
It's slipping. It's
not
slipping.
really-
It's
we don't
not
really
okay.
have
I know you're
to,
just
like-
saying it. You can feel that, right?
Yeah.
So I think with that, it just depends on the moment, and I can't say I wasn't there, but maybe it wasn't really okay.
It's a delicate balance. Someone has to be that person to kind of, put you in check. Because he's right. Like some of the things that were happening, they're pretty much unacceptable. Right. And when you're talking about basketball in the greater sense, like there's certain things that you cannot do. You cannot play a certain way if your expectation is to compete at a high level.
Yeah.
So in that sense, he's right. Like there's a certain standard that we have to reach, and if we're not reaching it, then it's not okay.
Yeah.
However, from a teammate standpoint, whenever your teammates aren't reaching that standard and, failures or bad things do happen, then that's where that balance comes in. You do need people that you're shooting 0 for 6 and you're like, hey man, you're a shooter, keep shooting.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay. Keep shooting. That's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
So context is definitely important in that situation.
I like that. Okay. How did that window affect you as a player? Knowing that, oh my God, I just did something that was literally impossible at one point.
Yeah.
We beat a team that we shouldn't have beaten. How does something like that affect you as a player?
Definitely gave me confidence, just to know that I can play at a high level against one of the top ranked teams in the world. It's like, okay, and I can not only hang, but I could flourish at this this stage if given the right opportunities. And I felt like that moment that I was in, him inserting me as starting point guard, that was the opportunity that I've been waiting for. So, I was like, let's go. Now's the time.
You're ready.
And so of course I whenever I play, I give everything that I can. So first defense had to be there. And then next, okay, JB needs a little bit of help scoring or we need to find, a balance between a pick and roll player and shooting on out, just settling for outside shots. So I filled into my role there pretty naturally. And it was just more about just being in the opportunity or being in the moment and taking advantage of the opportunity and just the confidence of me coming from the finals, having, the finals MVP, just my confidence was at its all-time high. And so really at that point, I had nothing to fear. So it was just okay, go out and go out and play, go out and hoop. Yeah. You're doing it for the country. You're doing it for everyone. So just go out there and play your game. If you fail, you fail, but at least you gave it your best, right?
Yeah.
So
Coach Cone loves you so much, bro.
Man,
You should hear
Yeah,
our
you can
scouts
definitely-
against you,
you
bro.
can
He
feel
makes you
it.
sound like you're Jordan, bro. Like, bro, we be hitting each other sometimes. Like, God damn.
Are you
man.
jealous?
You really to Jordan? Come on, dog. Cone loves you, bro.
We know what it did for New. What do you think that window did for Gilas?
It's just credibility, legitimacy.
Yeah.
Just another level up. Like I said it a while ago. Like I was saying on Twitter, like, mark my words, we're gonna be a top 10 basketball country. And I got so much heat for that. And then after y'all beat Latvia, and I started keeping receipts. Like, I told y'all, see what happens? See, we're coming, baby. We're coming. But again, like I truly think like we're gonna be there. I don't know when, but we are a top 10 basketball country. If we can get everything in order, on like the infrastructure behind the scenes to be on the same page and just keep that same train moving, just forward, just not having any type of setbacks. Like, man, we might have already been there by now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're there, bro. Like,
Yeah, I think it made the dream more attainable again. You know, I mean, I think there was some doubt for a little while. And then you look at the success of our Olympians, right? From Carlo with the gold medals, our boxers and golfers, like all the way across the board. Not just the medalists, like just our Olympians all together. We're not far off. Like, we're essentially a game away, and those opportunities are going to continue to be there. Like, it's not like that was like a one-off. You know, we keep on putting ourselves in situations where we can, make noise and kind of make our way into the Olympics. So I'm excited for the program. It looks like JD said, there's some stability in place to where, there's a plan moving forward.
It seems like the government's getting more on board, like from what we're hearing, articles on internet, that they want to put more resources into the sports programs.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Yang just had a big bill that he was able to get passed after he put it in 2016. That's so
crazy, bro.
Not even from the Gilas program, hopefully from grassroots all the way up. There's a little.
I got
bit
goosebumps
more.
thinking about that, bro. Like
from basketball, from all sports, all the way across the board. It's an exciting time to be a young Filipino athlete, and hopefully guys like New and the team continue to inspire them. So it's awesome.
I wanted to pick your brains on, the Olympic noise when, of course, Heidelin got our first Olympic gold for us, and then Kaloy got a couple for us. And the negative sports fans are all like, ayan, tingnan nyo, dyan dapat kayo mag-concentrate. Wag na sa basketball, wala naman tayong chance. Right? Those were the negative things that we saw all over social media after Kaloy won his 2 medals. What were you guys thinking when you saw those?
It wasn't overnight for them either. That's a lifetime of work that they put in. They didn't start, I'm sure,
with no guarantees of financial stability or anything.
That's a lifetime of work, man, and it's hard, man.
Yeah.
No matter whether it's an individual sport or team sport, you want to be world class. It doesn't happen overnight, and I think as long as we just continue to support our athletes,
across the board,
like you can't pick and choose.
All we gotta do, bro.
Like, we're all fighting for the same flag. So I think you can lift up one sport without putting down another, and that works both ways. You know what I mean? I think when we went to the World Cup in 2014 for the first time in 40 years, nobody was saying, "Oh, we shouldn't have done it," or "We shouldn't have pushed for this team to attain or reach for these goals." And I think you're never going to please everybody at the same time, just given the landscape of the world. But as long as we continue to find ways to support one another, I think we'll be okay.
It's just funny how short people's memories are. Because not even just a couple of months before that, we definitely had a chance to be there.
Right there.
Right there, bro.
In the convo. And we haven't been, before that, it was 40 years with nothing, right? 40 years of drought for basketball in a sense.
So crazy,
We've been at every World Cup since. Almost made the Olympics. We're right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Asian Games gold.
Asian Games gold.
Yes.
Just get us in the Olympics.
Just do it already, New.
Come on.
Just goodness.
New, get
Try
better.
our best already.
Get better.
Your best is better.
You know what's wild is that I'm actually looking at the Gilas program now, and I understand where I'm at in relevance to where it's going. And I know that I have a limited window, but the guys that are part of the program now, they're just getting started.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about guys like Kai,
Yeah.
Carl, KQ.
It's like, how are you not excited about
These guys?
Gonna be nice.
Like, I'm having conversations with these guys on the bus, and I'm like, how old are you? And then
Right.
and then Mason is just like, I just turned 19, and I'm like,
What? He's 19.
oh my god,
Like he's 25.
You know, so
He's 19.
it's kind of crazy.
That sentence felt disrespectful.
Crazy.
JD
right?
say he looks like he's 25.
Mason looks older than what he appears to be, not in a seasoned, negative retrospect. He just looks like a
It's
man.
never fun when someone tells you older older than you are.
Well, I mean, he's
Okay,
a
well, if you say
19-year-old
he looks
that
like a man, then okay,
there
get
you go.
it.
Looks like a man. He looks like a man child.
Mukhang mama. Okay.
Mason, you look like a man child. Respect. I'm not trying to.
Okay, so
Sorry.
that's Mason.
Yes.
My bad.
Kai is what, 22?
Right.
Yeah, bro.
22?
Yeah,
So-
like you said,
It'd
Carl.
be nice. Yeah.
You still
Those
got
guys.
AJ,
AJ too.
all those young guys. I mean, Dwight will be the vet.
Dwight's
you know what I
gonna be the
mean?
vet. You got
You're gonna be nice,
Jamie.
But yeah, all
Yeah,
you.
you still got
Jamie.
Ren.
CJ.
You need to come back to the
Rance.
Philippines, bro. I'm sorry.
He's golfing like crazy though.
Yo,
Sorry.
you golfing over there? You need to be.
Yes. You might have to
We're
get
gonna
a
have a
quick
talk,
9.
Another OG talk that you don't want to hear. God, it's kids, man. Kids, man.
Just to be clear, we are all for, all the other sports getting support, but
Facts.
everyone can have a slice of the pie. That's what.
Facts, facts.
What I would like to see is, a place where people can actually go and support, some of these sports. So let's have a boxing event that's open to the public. So those that actually want to support can actually go and support.
Yo,
Bro,
I like that one.
I'm
Yeah.
all for
I'm with you on that,
You
bro.
know, let Carlos let's
Yeah.
let
Put on
Carlos
exhibition.
have
Don't exhibition.
let's give him Moa.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can
have
fill it up.
EJ,
I know
EJ come
EJ
out and
has
do the
something
that's
happening,
what I was gonna
yeah.
say.
You go with
Yeah.
that.
He's bringing some of the biggest pole vaulters
Hey,
around the world.
that's-
that's-
That's
how we
gonna
can
be
support.
Yeah.
that would be dope.
Yeah.
And let's have Let It Fly film the whole thing.
Hey, let's pull up.
Damn, let's
SBP.
go.
I was just having this conversation the other day that, like, if team sports is one thing, but like you see the success of individual sport athletes, and like you said, we don't get to see them until the Olympics. Like a lot,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really follow the sport,
Sure.
like we have to have more exposure for them to get people on board, and that will naturally bring money with it, right? Like people support what they see. It's hard. It's kind of hard
True.
to give
Companies would jump on that so
blind
quick.
faith when it comes
Yeah.
to sports, and
Yeah.
and these everybody has great stories, great personalities. Like for me, one of my favorite Filipino athletes is Margie, our skateboarder. Like one of the coolest people
Yeah.
you ever meet.
He's
Super
so cool.
funny. Like, and I've only met her like twice in my life, and she has that kind of impact when you meet her. And she has her endorsements, and she travels all over the place. But like, imagine that's just one athlete. Like, imagine how many more personalities and characters that we have out here that will be on Let It Fly documentaries.
Entertainment.
You know how
Let it fly.
volleyball
Productions.
just zoomed in the last few
Yeah.
years? I would love to see that for gymnastics. I would love
gonna
to see
happen.
that for fencing. I would love to see that
It's
for
gonna happen.
boxing,
Golf.
pole vaulting. Because I mean, we all were super excited when we were watching the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah.
So what would the difference be if it would be here, right?
Did we all practice? Like I was on the couch trying to.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah.
you're gonna hurt
But my
something.
question is, how does one discover that they're good at pole vaulting?
That is crazy. Like no, for real.
It is. It is.
I mean, I'm sure if you're in it as a coach, you could tell real quick. Just
No,
seeing
but
the
I'm
way
saying as a young
Like as a
athlete.
What
child,
makes
like,
you-
oh, I
like,
want to
what
do
was that
that.
trigger?
Oh,
Because for me, like like the Olympics, I used to watch. I watch everything.
did you run track or anything
I
before?
did. I wish I would have.
I did.
Knew you did.
Wish,
I
yeah, I
did.
knew did. My brothers
Did everything.
or my middle brother did. I think my youngest brother did. But that's one thing I wish I would have played volleyball.
Yeah, I wish I
would've
played volleyball,
in the
bro.
off
Me
season
too, bro.
in the States, and I wish I would have done the jumping events in track.
What'd you do in track? Jumping events?
I
The
did
hurdles?
hurdles.
Field
Yeah, I
events.
remember
Sorry,
you telling
not
me
jumping
hurdles.
events. Field events.
I did long jump, triple jump, high jump.
Yeah, I did all those too. Yeah. I did all the long jumps, high jump, triple jump. I did the 400.
Samesies.
Hard same.
That triple jump had to be no joke. That just looks so painful and
It was tough.
Wait, it don't feel painful maybe because we were so young, but it's such a
yeah.
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, it's
pounding
like an
is
aggressive type of
crazy.
jump.
Speaking of pain, how about that pole vaulter?
Oh, the one that that's the one you're gonna point out.
right?
That's the
That's
one.
really
Going out on.
That was
Yeah, because JD threw out you guys missed it, but JD, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about because that got edited out. So you guys don't even know what we're talking about. So you're the dumb one.
Jokes on you.
No one wants to answer it. So I guess that concludes
Yeah.
this episode
That it
of the
does.
Let It Fly podcast. Any messages to our loyal viewers
Yeah.
who have missed us? We're so sorry,
Yeah,
by the
that's
way.
on us. That's on us.
Hey,
That's on us.
sorry guys.
Before we go away, though, two things. First, New has a question.
Oh yeah. So we started.
Are we at school?
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Before class is dismissed. Mr. Newsome, you have a question?
Mr. Newsome.
Yeah, so we started with the 4-point line. So I had to ask you guys, who was the first person to convert a 4-point basket.
You're asking.
Trivia?
We know this.
We
How
know.
about her?
Yeah,
we knew.
10.
We know this one.
You know?
You better get this one. Well, it's. You want to give a hint?
Yeah, give her a state.
A state?
Washington.
Oh, no.
Oh, just
Not here.
Just
the letters.
The letters.
Oh.
Can it match up?
I don't think there is.
There is no.
What do you
Is
mean?
there any other countries that has the same?
Columbia?
Call.
That's the
C-
and then Boston,
Yeah.
Columbia, and Boston. Can you guess?
What?
Boss?
just think of the first letters
Letter
of
each.
both those
Of
words.
each. Yeah.
Yeah, just the
Okay.
first letters of.
Call.
Columbia and Boston.
Gusto niyo akong tulungan?
Oh, you're gonna be so
They
mad
know
when
it.
when we tell you
Boss. Boss.
No, so just focus on the first initials of both.
the first
cities.
letter.
CB.
Yes.
Yes.
CB.
C.
Is it Banquero? Chris Banquero?
Yeah.
He's bolted in. He's
Part
bolted
2.
in.
Part
There you
2.
go.
part
Okay,
two.
okay.
Now, who was the first person to attempt a 4-point shot in the PBA?
Countries.
I don't know on this one. I truly
You guys don't know?
Attempt?
I don't know.
Because that was opening day. Who shot the first one?
I can't even say.
It wasn't. Was it? It wasn't Paul. Was it Paul? No.
Why are you Mr. Trivia?
Yeah. Where did this come
It's an
from?
interesting.
Are we having a
Prizes?
segment? Newsome's trivia.
Hey,
Newsome.
By the way,
You better get the trademark.
me and the guy that's not here do have some plans for some pretty
Okay.
interesting games for the show.
The guy who's not here,
Saul?
Voldemort?
Yeah.
Making moves under the table. That's what you're doing now, Saul.
All right. Who?
First
First
4-point attempt.
What?
Was it you?
What team? What
PBA
team?
history.
What team?
Well, it was opening day.
So it's either Meralco or
Magnolia.
Magnolia.
And it wasn't Lee.
So you said it wasn't Paul.
I don't think it was Paul.
I don't know, man.
Give up.
Yes.
Was it you, New?
We
It
gave
was
up
me.
a long time
It
ago.
was New. Ah,
was
trick
me.
question.
Dang.
How bad did you miss
it?
How bad was the miss?
It was on mine.
Was it short?
It was on mine.
was on mine?
Slightly to the right.
Right,
Okay.
No, short, slightly to the right, but it was
Yeah.
it was a good look.
Okay.
That's
It's
a
definitely
fun,
good luck.
It's
so.
far, bro.
fun phrase.
Line is
Wow.
far.
Short standing to the right.
Just the way this day is going, I knew Tin was gonna say.
Whoa. I just got it. I just got it.
I was sitting there like, Tin, don't say anything. Don't say
New?
anything. Short.
Short slanted to the right.
They didn't have to know that,
Oh,
but
man, we need to go
so
home.
maybe we will have some trivia questions to throw out in the next episodes. But we did have one question that we threw out a couple of episodes ago, the Big Boy Ching
Yes.
episode. We did ask you a question. We no longer remember the question we asked, but we do remember the answer. The Bape Adidas collab. I think we asked him about his.
His favorite shoe.
the first
I think it was the first.
Yeah.
big.
We'll just cut
whatever.
it and then we'll
That was the-
replay the clip of
This is the question.
Ah, nice
we
one.
do that.
Yeah.
Nice one, Gabe.
Dude, that's
This was the question.
Ano yung sinabi ni Big Boy Cheng na unang most expensive sneaker na binili niya? So, clue, collab yan. The answer was the Bape Addy collab, and the winner is Mark.
Jason.
Martinez.
6-2-4-5.
Nice one.
Nice one, guys.
I got excited. My
Yeah,
bad.
that was. I think that was the most excited in 2 seasons I've ever seen him.
Damn, Gabe.
You're the winner.
Congratulations.
You gotta adjust the volume of my mic on that one.
Congratulations. You win GCs from Big Boy Cheng and
Yeah.
Secret Fresh. And once again, everybody, thank
buddy.
you so much for joining us on today's episode. Let It Fly is, of course, powered by Smart Sports. So on behalf of New, Gabe, JD, Saul, and Joe, this has been Tin Gamboa. See you again in the next episode of Let It Fly.
Hey, congrats, Jut. Congrats.
Congrats, Charlotte.